Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you know, I've been doing this whole bullet journal thing for however many months now, and it's been going great, and I've been showing you how I plan every month so far, but I thought I'd go more in depth into my weekly planning because it's something that's been really helpful for me recently. So I thought I'd show you a couple of examples of a couple of the things I've done over the last few weeks, especially on finals weeks when I was so very stressed and had so many things going on. So I'm going to run you through that main weekly spread, and I'm going to show you what I did and how I do sort of vary it from week to week to just sort of fit where I am in my life. So let's get started. So this is the main one, which I think I posted a picture of also online on my Instagram, and which is linked down below, of course. And as you can see, this was a very busy week for me. These 2 weeks were two very busy weeks. And as you can see, they're back to back, which is something that I also really like about my weekly spread. It's kind of self-explanatory. So here, let's start on this side. I have the header. It's very simple. I just write the month and the days of the week, and then I write the whole month and I highlight the week it is in, just sort of to give myself context of where I am in the month, especially if I have things going on around it, like before or afterward and all that kind of stuff. Then I divide it into a couple different sections. They don't have any specific space that they take up. I just kind of mix and match them according to the month and according to what I need. So, for example, this was a month where I didn't have a lot going on YouTube-wise because I've been scaling down a little bit because I've had so much stuff going on school-wise. So, and then I had a lot of stuff coming up in the future, so I gave more space to the future stuff and to this home and school stuff, even though in other weeks, usually they'll be either the same or I'll have my YouTube stuff be the larger portion. So on this week, I had a lot of stuff to do school-wise, so I just did sort of the homeschool slash do this week, and I did just a running list. And I usually do that. That's what my weekly usually consists of. It's a running list of everything I need to get done, everything I need to turn in, all of it going down, because it's rarely so day specific that I can't have it on a daily type thing or on a running list type thing. So what I do is if it's something due on a specific date, I have this column here. This is my events column. So I have, as you can see here, my 20th century paper, YouTube video, the fact that it was free, the Contemporary Art Museum was free, and another YouTube reminder, that sort of thing. So if I have something that's specifically due on a certain date, I will put it here on this events column, which I'll just have events, and then it's a little bit of space. I don't need much because I don't have many events going on. And so it's just one for every day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the weekend. And then from this running list, I will take whatever it needs to be done and sort of whatever needs to be done first, I'll just prioritize. And then I'll move it over to my dailies, which are all on these pages. So, and then I have here YouTube, and this will change depending on the amount of time I have. Sometimes I'll just write the video I want to make and just leave it. And sometimes I'll put what I need to do, even if there's more steps to it, I need to plan something out or I need to write out the video, I will do that as well on this section. And then on this case, which is not something I have often, is my future little log, because I had so much stuff coming up when it came to papers and pages and stuff like that. And then what I like about this setup is also that I have it both all in one little spread. So it's every day I will go at night and I will set up my new daily, but I always have it my week at a glance here, and then I can set up my daily here. So there's nothing really I'm missing, and I don't have to be flipping back and forth to a couple pages. Also because my dailies just don't take up a lot of time. I know a lot of people like to do time trackers and stuff like that. I tried it on my other journal, but I wasn't really keeping up, and I just didn't like the idea of it. So I just kind of don't like having the sort of, at this time I do this and this time I do that, especially being a college student when you have your classes that you have at the same time every day. So then it just felt unnecessary because I knew my schedule for my classes. And as you can see here, when I have a little bit more time, I didn't really set it up to have my my future stuff. So then, as you can see here, I also have like a little grocery list because I had the space. I usually, if I want to, I can just do a whole page for my grocery list, because I like having my weekly and my dailies like this, I try to stray away and try to fit it into my weekly page, especially because that just makes it so much more streamlined for me overall. So then here is another one where I did a little variation of it. So I still have a lot of school stuff coming up, and then my future stuff, and then as you can see here, I like simplified the YouTube stuff just because I wasn't gonna have time to do anything really. And then I had here papers due. This is like a little tracker thing where I was keeping track of how much I had finished of my book, or not my book, but my papers. So I had, I think it was research, outline, writing, revising, and turning it in. So when I finished my research, I would mark off the first box. When I finished outlining, the second. Writing it is just like my, what I call word vomit, which is just letting it all out, all the knowledge, all the stuff that I think needs to be out there. Then I revise it, and then finally turning it in. And I did that just so I could, not lose track of where I was with each paper, since I had 3 of them that I was working on at the same time. And then I have here a note that I wrote to myself. It says, prioritize exams and comment because contemporary is due Friday. And it's honestly just this kind of thing is another thing I like about the way I do my weeklies, where I can just, take the time out and do stuff like this, just reminders for myself, and look at the space I have left for this week, like, sadly it wasn't like in this case where I had, like mismatched spaces where I could just draw. Maybe I'll end up doing some mountains there, to be freaking honest, but it was honestly just that simple, and this was like the week where I was finishing everything up for my papers. So it was a hectic week, even though it may not look like it. But because it is so like simplified, I do enjoy that it's not overwhelming for me. So I have everything I really needed, but it's so simplified that, a thing that I hear people say about bullet journaling a lot is that they get overwhelmed by it. And honestly, that's just thankfully not happened to me, and it's because I've experimented a lot with like the different spreads. And honestly, when I was doing my old ones before, I was really overwhelmed by it all. Let me see if I can find my other journal to show you. So here's the first weekly I ever did. It was horizontal, and honestly, I don't know what I was doing. This just seems like, it was a hectic week because I can see I had like a bunch of papers, but I don't know if this was like work on that paper or like it was due that day. I don't remember, but I think it was like those days that it was due because it's like mid-January. And, again, like my dailies were just, it's much more like disorganized than what it is now. This is another attempt at a weekly. It was a 2-page weekly, and it just doesn't feel necessary. Like, look how much space all of this is taking up. And like, this is basically what I have on, my little column right here. It's the same idea. And even like, I don't know, I find that it's just unnecessary. And like the social media tracker, I don't know, it feels extra, and like it's overwhelming because it just seems like a lot when it isn't really like that much. Here I don't think I even bothered to do a weekly on this week, like GG on me. That's such a, like, man, here's the same idea, but I guess it's just like more the same like running list, but I was trying to separate it, and it doesn't feel like, I don't know, again, it's a lot more space than needed. I feel like I could have fitted something like this over here, and I will show you later on when I started doing the, like, here you can see the start of the column. It's the same idea, and it just simplified my life so much more. Of course, this one is a dotted journal, so the space for writing is very different, but it feels so much better than like having like the 2-page spread is just like not for me, because you have to be turning back and forth, and then you just end up with like weird spaces like this, and I don't enjoy that. This is when I started to do like, weekly dailies, and it felt so much more organized. And here's where I started doing my dailies, where they were with a timeline, and right away I switched back because I didn't like it. And this is when my weeklies start to really take shape. and this is when I had like more stuff going on and just like little reminders here. I find that that is honestly become the best option for me. And then this week I was like EQC week, and I didn't even like do my dailies properly. This is another weekly thing I tried out, to like have like my timelines for the week set up and then do my dailies, but it just, again, just not working out for me. I'm happy with the one I have right now, which is this, and this is the latest one I've done. As you can see, I was away for a couple days, so I don't have Monday, Tuesday on this week, but again, it's just organized and simple, and I just find it so much easier to work with that I'm happier with this than any other weekly, and I hope you guys can like take something away from it. I'm playing around again with it. I didn't put the date, the little calendar thingy on this month, just because, I don't know, since June is like, I'm done with school and I only have one thing to like look up to or look forward to with school. It's just not needed to have more context of where my month is going. So this is just what I have going on this week. It's pretty simple. I'm just in like starting the moving out process, which is basically all I'm doing now. And I have one more test and I'm done with school for the year, which is interesting. So yeah, I hope you guys found this somehow helpful or useful. If you're like me and you don't have a lot of shit going on, then I think this would be good for you because it's not overwhelming and you're honestly not wasting as many pages. And considering how expensive these notebooks can get, I think it's good to be saving money and saving paper. Yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and all that other YouTube stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!